Hey guys, what's up? ActiveDaily. So I just got back from my trip to Nashville, Cookeville, Tennessee, and then Savannah, Georgia, back to Tennessee, back to Georgia, and then came back home. So here's three things that I learned on my trip. Number one, I went to the Train with Rich training camp, and one of the biggest things I got from there is humility. Like these guys, these world-class athletes, previous champions, Rich Froning, four-time fittest man on earth. Like these guys are just like the most like humble, don't take themselves too seriously kind of guys. So sometimes when I'm traveling or going to different CrossFit gyms, sometimes I get a little intimidated by some of the really fit people out there, men and women. But I don't need to do that, I don't need to do that because we're just all there to do the best we can for ourselves, right? We like to live healthy, fit, active lifestyles. So the humility that I saw, from some of the fittest people on earth was just, it's very humbling. It's very humbling to me to like not take myself too seriously and just to have fun. So like one of my previous videos, I actually got to do three 15-minute AMRAPs with Rich Roney as my partner, and he never once like looked at me for going too slow. If anything, he just cheered me on as I was like dying through sled pushes and assault bike and all that stuff. And when it was over, I told him, hey man, thanks for that, hope I didn't slow you down too much. And he just kind of said, no worries man, everything, it's all good, you're good. So, and Dre, fittest cameraman on earth, got a couple of really good pictures of that exact moment, which I'll post sometime soon, or if not, it's on their Facebook page, What's Rich Doing. And that was phenomenal. So second thing is another part of the trip was moving someone into their new apartment for their second year in college. So the second thing was service, because when you're an alcoholic like me and a drug addict, you live a very, as we call it, selfish, self-centered life. So to put someone else first consistently, it's actually quite challenging for me. It's something I have to intentionally work on. It doesn't just come natural to me like some of my best friends. They just like do nice stuff for other people without even thinking and without asking for credit or expecting credit. They just do, right? But for me, it's challenging to do it on a consistent basis. So always put this other person first and do all the shopping and get them moved in, make sure they were okay. Number one, it was very tiring, but I don't mean that in a negative way, and I wouldn't take back doing it. But it was just tiring for me. But the good part is it's just like working out physical fitness. You need some resistance in order to get stronger. And then when that resistance, that weight gets too easy, you got to add a little bit more weight. So my service muscles definitely got some good work over the part that we were in Savannah. And then the last thing, number three, is adaptability. In other words, working on your flexibility. The reason I bring that up is because when we were down in Savannah, Georgia, Hurricane Irma was coming around and was just about to slam into Florida. So there was a mandatory evacuation for all of us in Georgia, and especially near the coastline, which is where Savannah is, to get out of there, be safe. So we jumped on the road along with millions of others I know that got evacuated from Florida on up. And we actually drove back to Cookeville, Tennessee. So, which, number one, I didn't mind. I got to go back to Mayhem to go take a couple classes and talk story with some more people over there. But we had set aside a lot of time to be in Savannah, Georgia, in order to get like this move done really nice and smoothly. And then also there were some things in Savannah that we wanted to do, like go to Tybee Island, different couple of restaurants that I never got to go to, drive over to Charleston, South Carolina, among some other things. But just wasn't happening. Literally a force of nature, act of God, if you will, happened. So we had to, adapt on the fly. So once again, when you're an alcoholic or drug addict like me, being flexible is also super tough. However, this time around, with some time and personal development work and self-education and tons of like family, friends, and support systems out there, including a bunch of you guys out there, being flexible, being adaptable is a lot easier for me now. I don't get so like upset when things don't go my way, or I don't get so passive aggressive towards the people around me, or aggressive to the people around me when things aren't going my way. So it was just another great lesson in recovery and life. I would argue adaptability. So those are the three great like valuable lessons that I got from my most recent trip. So appreciate you guys watching. Please, if you can, if you would, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Active Recovery Life. So be well, my friends, and of course, stay active.